Okay, so now we're going to look at how we conduct significance tests for paired data. So we do this when you're conducting a study that involves making, two observations on the same people. So you have 10 people and you want to make two observations on person one and then two observations on person two and so forth. Or if you make, an observation on a person one and another observation on a person that's very similar to person one, and then person two and another observation on someone that's very similar to person two, and so forth. But ideally, you want to make two observations on each person. And then what we actually analyze is the differences in those observation values. So for example, let's say you're developing a new shoe and you want to test that this shoe actually improves your running time for a marathon. And so what you could do is maybe randomly select 50 people. You have them run a marathon in their old shoe, whatever it is. You record their times, and then maybe like a week later, once they're fully recovered, they run a marathon again, and then you record their times on the second marathon with the new shoes. Now, you actually don't care about their time that they took for each marathon. That's actually not what you're focusing. What you care about is the difference in their times, because everyone's time is going to be different. So you don't care if one person took 5 hours and another person took 3 hours. That's not what you care about. You care about if person one went from 5 hours to time less than 5 hours, and person two went from a time of 3 hours to time of whatever 2 hours and 50 minutes or something. You want to see if on average you have an improvement of time. So you're going to be analyzing the difference in their times. So we're going to go through this example so we can really understand how this works. So in this example, we have these two students, Libby and Katie. They have a project in their AP stats class, and they want to see which line was faster in the supermarket. Was it the express lane or the regular lane? So they collected their data by randomly selecting 15 times during a week, went to the same store, bought the same item, and one student used express lane and the other used the regular lane. Now, to decide which of them each of them would use each time they flip a coin, that way it was, random assignment. And then they made sure to enter the lanes at the same time, to pay with the same method, credit card or cash, whatever. And then they record the number of seconds it took for them to complete the transaction. So here they are. Here are the times in the regular lane, and here are the times in the express lanes. So we're going to carry out a test to see if we have convincing evidence that there actually wasn't an improvement in the express lane. So we want to see if the express lane you took less time on average. Now, what we're going to do is use the analysis for paired data and study the differences. So we're going to take these 15 data points, put them in one list, these next 15 data points, put them in another list, and then we're going to subtract each of the corresponding values, the regular lane times minus the express lane times, and we're going to actually run the significance test on the difference in the values. So regular minus express. So for my calculator, what I did is I put the data in my list 1 and 2. So regular lane is list 1, express lane is list 2, and then in list 3, I did list 1 minus list 2. And so what I did is just I highlighted L3, I typed L1 minus L2, and it's going to populate my list with the differences. So this is what I'm going to analyze. Now, since we're analyzing the differences. And since the expression is regular minus express lane, that'll be the equation for the differences. In order for the express lane to be faster than the regular lane, that means that this equation needs to be greater than 0. We want to aim for a positive number. If we get a positive number from this, that means that you spend more time in the regular lane and less time in the express lane. So we want this to be greater than 0. And so what our hypothesis will be is that HO, the null hypothesis, is that the true mean difference is 0, meaning that there's no difference in time spent in each lane. And the alternative is that the true mean difference is greater than 0. So that means that the regular time is more than the express time. All right, so then for the do part, if the conditions are met, we're going to conduct a paired t-test for the mean difference, so mu sub d. So we check the random condition first, and we were told that the times are randomly selected. 10%. It's obvious to say that there's going to be like less than or at least 150 possible times that you can visit the store. So this is met because our sample size is only 15. That definitely is less than 10% of all the possible visiting times. And normal large sample. Now, normal large sample, it doesn't say that the population is normally distributed, and our sample size is only 15. So this is less than 30. So we're going to need to inspect the sample data. So again, in your calculator, you want to graph the differences. I like to make a box plot. So graph the differences. So I'm going to, in mine, it's in list 3. So I'm going to go to plot, turn it on, and use a box plot for the data in list 3. And here I go. There's my box plot. And again, I press trace so you can see the 5-number summary on here, because when I make my sketch, I like to write these numbers out so the reader can see them. And then this box plot doesn't show any extreme skewness or outliers, so we can say it's safe to proceed with our T procedures. Okay, so our do part, we're going to calculate our test statistic. And again, it'll be on the differences. So we can run our one variable statistics. For the data in my calculator, it'll be list 3. I get my mean. I got my sample standard deviation there. And then from there, I use those numbers to plug it into my equation for T. And I'm going to get about 1.97. Now, I'm going to use my graphing calculator again to conduct the probability of getting T statistic this large or larger. Because remember, I want to look at the area to the right of this T statistic. I want to look at this shaded portion here to the right of 1.97 and a distribution where the degrees of freedom is 71. So again, in your calculator, oh, not 70 degrees of freedom would be, whoops, 14, because 1 less than 15 is 14. So 14. So running it in my calculator, remember, you go to distribution, go to, I passed it, TCDF, lower bound in this calculator, answer that first, 1.97, upper, make it a very large number because remember, you're going to like infinity theoretically, comma, followed by the degrees of freedom, which will be 14. And you can see I get about a p-value about 3.4%. And so then, since our p-value is less than our alpha level of 5%, that means we're going to reject HO. And then we have convincing evidence that the express lane is indeed faster than the regular lane on average. So there you go. Hope that example helps. Good luck.